Hello everyone, a very warm good evening to one and all present over here. Now a very good evening to you all, and I welcome you all in this wonderful session of Ace IELTS series. Now come on, without wasting any further time, come on, be quick and let me know that you guys are here. Comment on the comment section so that I get to know that you guys are here, and please be quick, okay, so that I can start up our session. Okay, come on, now be quick and let me know that you guys are here. Come on, be quick. I need comments, and I know that you are really very excited to have today's evaluation, right? Okay, come on, I need comments. Be quick, be quick, be quick. How many of you are here? Hello Rahul, very good evening, welcome. Okay, so now let's understand what are the topics we are going to learn today. Okay, so here are the topics that I'll be covering for you guys today. Let's have a quick look at it. First of all, we have pie chart intro. Yes, today I'm going to start up with the pie chart, and I'll let you know that how you need to frame your pie chart answers in such a manner that you don't make any mistakes if somehow you encounter this question. Okay, now the second one is the evaluation. Of course, we are going to put on the evaluations, and also I'll be checking it for you guys. Okay, fine. Now, let's understand the next thing, which is final response. And of course, I'm going to tell you the final response for the same. Okay. Now, here is the pie chart introduction. Okay. Now, let's understand first of all, before moving ahead for the evaluation, I want you all to know what is actually pie chart is in IELTS examination, not talking about mathematics. Okay. So, in IELTS, how we are going to deal with the pie chart. So here is a pictorial representation of it. Okay, I hope you all can see this picture. Also, let's understand. So first of all, as you guys might be aware of the fact that I have always told you, whenever you are going to write or you are going to attempt writing task 1, academic training. What do you have to do? Any question related to academic training, writing task 1, you have to follow a certain structure. Structure based on your writing. So what it is going to be? It is going to be IOB format. Now what is IOB format? I have already told you. It is intro, which is introduction, right? After that, it is overview. Okay, and then we are going to come up with the body 1 or 2, or totally depends on how much your question demands for the same, right? Now, so first let's understand, this is the pie chart. So basically pie chart is a circular representation of a picture that tells you about different categories. Usually it shows the different categories, the different companies, or different the demographic profile. Okay, so basically this is how it has been divided into different slices depending upon the percentage covered by a particular category or a particular topic or a particular country or a company, right? So depends on the question. Okay, now so what we have to do now, you can see paraphrase the title. What it is saying, that paraphrase the title means that you have to write the introduction. Okay, Now, introduction of pie chart will be, now introduction of the pie chart will be nothing but just a simple rephrasing of the question, or you can say paraphrasing of the question that you are going to do. Now make sure that you use synonyms, because I have already told you what is the meaning of paraphrasing and how you can do it. Now what's the next thing? Overview of the data. Of course I have told you that we have to write an overview after it. Okay, now let's understand how we are going to write the overview of the data. You have to study the diagram properly. You have to do what? Study the diagram properly, right? This is what you have to do. And then you have to Debarsh is asking, is this free? Yes, Debarsh, it is free. You can always get an access to all the evaluations that you can. Okay, and I am evaluating the students who are there with me with the paid batch. Okay, so don't worry, you can always have an access to this thing. Also, I have done the speaking evaluation and the writing bar chart evaluation also. So make sure you go to all the previous sessions so that you don't miss anything. Okay, now, so yes, so I told you that we have to do the overall overview of the data. So you have to just read it. You have to count on it that what percentage, what category is holding, and then you have to write the overview. Now you have to make sure that you don't present detailed descriptions okay. So you don't present a detailed description of the pie chart. When I say overview, I mean the overall data that the diagram is showing. Highlight the key information here where you have to write the body. Here you are going to focus on the numerical data. Also the detailings of comparisons. Okay. Got it? Have a closer look to it. Okay, so this is how you have to come up with the format. Okay, now I'll be evaluating a question and I'll be telling you what all sorts of things or what all sorts of mistakes you don't have to repeat. Okay, now let's have the evaluation question first, and I'll be telling you what the student response was, and also I'll be telling you what all the improvement that it needs. Okay, now let's have a quick look at the question. The two pie charts below shows the online shopping sales for retail sectors, okay, in Canada in 2005 and 2010. Okay, so we've got the question over here. Now summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparison where relevant. Write at least 150 words. Okay, so right now I'm not going to mention anything. I just want to see how you guys remember it. Let me know the word limit for writing task 1 in the comment section. Come on, be quick. I have already told you the word limit for writing task 1. Come on, be quick and type it jaldi se in the comment section so that I get to know that you guys remember. Okay, by the time I'm evaluating the question. Okay, answer. Now let's have a quick look at the question first. Okay, so let me be here. Okay, now, okay, we can see this is 2005 and we can see this is 2010. So we can see this 5 years gap is here, right? 5 years gap is here. Now, okay, so we have 4 sectors, we have 4 categories in which we are going to deal with. We have electronics and appliances, home furnishings, food and beverage, video games, right? And the entire pie chart has captivated some of the other kind of percentage by some of the other categories, right? Now, let's understand what is the response of the student based on this and how we are going to evaluate it. Okay, 150 to 180. Very good, Debarsh, amazing. I guess you are right and you've remembered it. That's a very good thing. Okay, now let's understand how the student response we are going to evaluate it first. So this is the introduction, I guess. Okay. The two pie charts compare the percentage of sales through online shopping across 4 distinct retail sectors in Canada in 2005 and 2010. Now, no doubt the introduction is really nice. The presentation is really nice. Okay, I agree on that. The presentation is good. It is paraphrased till certain extent, but it could have been improved. Now again, you might be saying that, ma'am, you told me that it needs to be just clear and a normal depiction of the answer, but it is clear, no doubt on that part. But if you actually need to upgrade your band, you need to be bit precise than this, right? Now, what I mean actually by being precise, I mean, like in the question, if you have a closer look at the question, okay, right? Again, I'm going to show you the question. The two pie charts below show the online shopping sales for retail sector in Canada in 2005 and 2010. Same it is written. Now, let's see how the student has written. The two pie charts compares the percentage of sales through the online shopping across 4 distinct retail sectors in Canada in 2005 and 2010. It more or less looks like the same, right? But yes, of course, you have to do the paraphrasing. What else we could have done? What else the student might have done is, instead of writing 4 distinct retail sectors in Canada, the student or the candidate would have just written the names of the sectors. That would have been better express the sector. Also, it would have made clear what all sectors we are going to talk about. Okay, so whenever, let's suppose in the question the name of the sectors are given, you don't have to do anything, just number out the sectors. Or if in the question the number of the sectors or number of categories given, what you have to do, you have to just name the sector out there in order to be more precise on the same, right? I hope you've got it. Let me know in the comment section if you've got it. Okay, now first, second, this is the overview. Okay, overall gaming and food sector increased significantly. Okay, so we can see that here we have video games, which is this. Okay, this is video games. So fine, it was 18%, 23%, it showed an increase, got finally. On the other hand, house furnishing and electronics dropped. Okay, home furnishing, okay, and electronics and appliances, it dropped. Okay, so let's understand first which category is holding what. Okay, so this is video games, got it. So this is electronic and appliances, got it. This orange one is food and beverage. Okay, and this is home furnishing, got it. Okay, fine, I got it. Fine. Now let's understand. To begin with, now here are certain mistakes that I'll be covering. Hold on, just hold on. Let me just go through with all the answers and all the things. Then I'll be able to precisely tell you what are the mistakes. To begin with, electronic and appliances contribute to 35% of the total online retail sales, which was the highest among all sectors in 2005. Okay. So, fine. Okay, I got it. So, it was 35%. Okay, and here it went to 30%. But right now, we are talking about this, which is in 2005. Sorted. Okay. Unfortunately, it fell to 30% in next 5 years. Okay, we can see that it was 35 and then it was 30. So, it fell with 5%. Got it? Fair enough. Online sales of home furnishing sector saw significant fell of 10% and figures at 15%. Okay, fine. So, home furnishing, online sale of home furnishing, okay, saw a significant fell of 10%. So, we can see that here we have 25% and here we have 15%. Okay, so 10% fall we can see. Okay, now in 2010, which is least contributing sector? Fine, fair enough. Got it. Clear. Now, Food and beverages saw a rapid increase in online sales as this sector grew from 22% in 2005 to 32% and became the largest sector in 2010. Let's have a closer look at it. Okay. Okay. So it's okay, Priyanshu. No worries. Okay. And become the largest sector in 2010. Got it. So we can see that what we are talking about, food and beverages. So we have this orange one. Okay, it was at 22% and then it increased to 32% in 2010. Fair enough. Got it. Furthermore, video games also experienced a slight thrust and rose to a little less than a quarter. 23% in 2010 from 18% in 2005. Okay. 23% in 2010 to 18% in 2005. Got it. Now, listen to me carefully. Now, before moving ahead and telling what are the mistakes, let me just first motivate the student and let me just tell him or whosoever the student is that what are the good things are there in the answer and what all sorts of things that I need to appreciate that student. First of all, okay. First, I would like to tell you that the candidate or the student has understood the question properly. Second, the framing of the answer is very good. I mean, the flow that has been gained throughout the entire answer is actually very good. Also, the use of connectors okay. Fine. So these are the good things over here. The student has understood the question really nice, which is a very good thing. Flow of the answer is really nice. Okay. So the answer flow is really nice. It is in sequence, no doubt. It is bringing a clear picture over here. Okay. Use of connector are precise. So the way the student has actually used the connector is actually nice. And the one thing I would like to say that no repetition is here in the entire answer, which is something I need to appreciate. Okay, first. Now let's talk about what are the things that actually needs improvement in order to get this answer to a better band score. Okay, now let's have a closer look. So the very first step I'm going to tell you from the scratch. So the very first thing that you need to take care is read the diagram properly. Okay. Now start by reading the diagram properly for introduction and overview. So if you actually want to have a good introduction and a good overview, then you need to actually read the question properly. First of all, look upon to the pie chart and also look to the question that was mentioned. Okay, so what all sorts of things this pie chart is depicting, you need to be very sure on that part. Okay, 2005, 2010, fair enough. Now we've got electronic appliances, home furnishing, food and beverage, video games. Okay, got it. So now you can just, you know what you can do is whenever you encounter two pie chart, you can just mark a table or you can make a table out of it, and you also need to decide on which, like if I'm talking about the flow of the answer. Okay, so there are two ways. Okay, either you can go clockwise, like you can start by mentioning ideas like this, or you can go anti-clockwise. You know, in this way the flow is clear. Okay, first. Second, you can either write the difference in the percentage or you can directly mention the actual percentage. Okay, Got it? So either you can write the difference. For example, let me just give you an example for this these both. Basically what you can do is, when I said difference, so if the difference is of 5% or maybe 10%, you can just write that from this year to this year we can see that in this particular category there is a 5% increase or a 5% decrease or a 10% increase, right? On the other hand, if you want to just mention the actual percentage, you can say that earlier it was at 18%, to which in this year it went to 28%, right? So in this way, the better representation of the data will be there. Ma'am, I usually divide the answer in sectors increasing and sectors decreasing. Fair enough. That is also something that you can do, but you also need to make sure the precision of the numerological, right? When I'm talking about the precision of the percentage, it is also very important, because again, there are certain mistakes that I'll be telling, and also I'll be telling that how those mistakes can be corrected. Okay, now just have a quick look at it. So if I talk about task achievement, the student will get band 6. Now let me tell you what are the mistakes were there. Okay. So the response addresses the task and covers the key features of the pie chart. However, there are some inaccuracies and oversight. The overview is presented but could be more comprehensive and clearer. Okay. So no doubt, as I have already told you, that the overview was good. The introduction was good, but if you can just name the sector, it will be more precise. If the names of the sector is already given in question, you can just number it in your answer. But if the numbers are given in the question, you can name it in the answer, so that it will become more precise. Okay. Now, second, the overview is present but could be more comprehensive. Now, the two pie charts compare the percentage of sales through online shopping across 4 distinct retail sectors in Canada in 2005 and 2010. Again, I told you, just name the sector and it will be really good. It will be complete. Okay. Now, if I talk about the overview, no doubt the overview was really good, but again, it was way too straight. Now, when I say straight, overall gaming and food sector increased significantly. On the other hand, house furnishing and electronics dropped. Okay, so you can also paraphrase it and write it. Overall, it can be seen that gaming and food sector shown a sudden increase or a significant increase or a significant hike in the data, while if I talk about the lowest data, or on the other hand, house furnishing and electronic were the least sold categories at that particular or during that particular year. In this way, you have mentioned the time, you have mentioned the categories, and also you have mentioned the highest data and the lowest data at the same time, right? Now, this look like a complete response to the question. Okay. Now, okay, fine. Now, let's talk about coherence and cohesion. Before moving ahead, coherence and cohesion deals with the flow of the answer, and also it deals with the idea how you have framed your answer in such a manner that it looks in a sequence. Also, the flow and the transition of the categories is smooth, okay, and understandable. Now, there are some issues with the cohesion, such as abrupt transition between the ideas and slight awkwardness in paraphrasing. Now, let's understand this. Unfortunately, it fell to 30% in next 5 years. Now, first of all, make sure now, okay, make sure that to avoid your opinion. Your opinions are actually not required in this kind of a question, because it is a report writing and it has to be in a formal and a neutral way. Okay. So when I'm talking about not required, I mean when the student has written, unfortunately, it fell to 30%. Okay. Now, the fell is fortunate or unfortunate will be a subjective opinion. Okay, which will actually which will actually not align with the coherence and cohesion demand. Okay, so you have to be very sure that whenever you are writing the report writing, make it very short and crisp and neutral at the same time. Okay, make sure you don't make sure you don't add in your opinion. Again, I'm telling you that don't decide whether it is fortunate or unfortunate. Okay, just write it that it fell from, or it has seen a sudden fall, or it plummeted, or something like this you can write, instead of writing unfortunately or fortunately, because it will be a subjective opinion then. Okay. Also it is vague, ma'am. Yes, I mean, like, not actually, but it sounds like an opinionated sentence which is not required. Okay, so it will not align with the parameter over here, right? Okay, now in next 5 years. Okay, furthermore, video games also experience a slight thrust and rose to little less than a quarter, 23% in 2010 from 18% in 2005. Now here, what is the mistake? Let me just tell you. So far in the entire answer, the student was writing comparing this year to this year, right? And all of a sudden in the last paragraph, student compares the data of this year to this year. Okay. So let me just tell you what I'm trying to tell you over here. Just have a quick look. 23% in 2010 and from 18% in 2005. Now this here, a little bit of confusion will occur. Okay, because so far the examiner was going and checking the answer well prepared that okay, we have to compare this year through this year in order to get the results and in order to get the difference amount in the percentage, right? But here it is the reverse thing that the student has done, which is actually making it unclear. Also, okay, slight thrust and rose to little less than a quarter. Now this kind of sentence, or this kind of paragraph or statement could have been more paraphrased and written more precisely as compared to it's written over here. How? Furthermore, video games also experienced a slight increase and rose to a little under the quarter, which was again 18% in 2005, to which it went to 23% in 2010, which shows an increase over the period of time. Got it? Now this will be very precise as compared to which is mentioned over here. Okay, now you just need to focus on making the idea precise, and the flow should be accurate. The transition of the idea should be very good, so that you know it looks like in a flow. Okay, it doesn't look like all of a sudden there's a twist and turn in your answer. Okay, now let's have a quick look at lexical resource. Okay, lexical resource, I have already told you, it is nothing but vocabulary. You need to be very precise while mentioning the vocabularies. Okay, the vocabulary is appropriate but not particularly varied. There are some incorrect word choices. Let's understand. Online sales of home furnishing sectors saw a significant fall of 10% and figures at 15% in 2010, which is the least contributing sector. Now, first of all, I would like to tell you that in this statement, there are almost 3 errors. First of all, online sales of home furnishing sector saw a significant fall of 10% and figures at 15%. Significant fall. So, your fall will be fall. Okay. And figures at 15%, to which you can also write, which will be more precise, accounted for 15% in 2010, which okay, have a closer look at it. Okay, now Online sales of home furnishing sector saw a significant fall of 10%, to which fall is going to be fall, okay? And figures at will be accounted for 15%, making this sector contributing the least. Now, this is how you can precisely mention your answer. This is no doubt the student has put on a lot of effort in writing it, and I really appreciate it. But at the same time, if a student is reaching here, I definitely want that person to reach to somewhat 7 to 8 band score. Now you should always think of improving yourself, okay? So even though the student is lying at 6 band over here in lexical resource, no doubt you can practice more and get to the band score of 7 and 8. It has a very close probability or a very close possibility for this type of question to reach a 7 to 8 bands, okay? Now, okay, so this is the final response. So before moving to the final response, so as you can see, this student is lying somewhat at 6 to 6.5 band score on an average in this question. Okay, so make sure you be very precise in writing the answer. And yes, one more thing I forgot to mention that I'll be mentioning. Focus on the question. If it is written electronic and appliance, write it like this. Home furnishing, write it like this. Food and beverage, writing like this. Video games, write it like this. Food, don't do food and beverages, home and appliances, okay? Don't do that. Never add any extra information from your end. Whatever is given in the question, consider it as a fact and work accordingly. Got it? Now, okay, have a look at the final response. The two pie chart illustrate the proportion of online retail sale in Canada across 4 different sectors: electronic and appliances, food and beverages, home furnishing, and video games in the year 2005 and 2010. Now, overall, the food and beverage sector saw substantial growth, while the electronic and home furnishing sectors experienced declines. The video game sector also saw a moderate increase. Depending upon the increase in the data and decrease in the data, make sure you use a particular word. And as you have already, if you don't have, let me know, I'll give you the vocabularies in order to deal with this kind of a question, and make sure you don't repeat your words again and again. Make sure you have 4 to 5 words in your mind so that you can use them, accurately in order to write up your answer. Now, okay. In 2005, electronic and appliances accounted for the largest share of online sales at 35. However, by 2010, this figure had decreased to 30%. The home furnishing sector also saw significant decline, dropping from 25 in 2005 to 15% in 2010, making it the sector with the lowest sales by the end of the period. Make sure you use the time period as well in order to mention the data, so that the examiner will be on the clear side, or will be on the precise side, that okay, the student has also mentioned the data properly. Moreover, conversely, the food and beverage sector showed a remarkable increase, rising from 22% in 2000 to 32% in 2010. Here you can see in this kind of an answer, the answer is basically providing the actual percentage and not focusing on the differences. So this is the reason I said either you mention the difference percentage, so we can see that this difference is being seen, so you can carry that on, or you can mention the actual percentage and then you can carry that on for precise answer giving. Okay, thus becoming the largest sector in online retail sales. Additionally, the percentage of sales in the video game sector increased from 18 to 23 over the same period. End it. Okay, as you also need to take care of the word limit, which is 150 to 180. Now again, you don't have to write less than 150, and you have to be very sure that you don't just to write or just to enhance or elaborate your answer. Make sure you don't end up getting diverted from the question, and also don't end up making a lot of mistakes, because when you write more, the probability for you to make mistakes becomes more, right? So be very sure on that part. Okay, ma'am, how to divide body 1 and body 2? Okay, so Debarsh, if I talk about dividing body 1 and body 2, again, this is the reason I say that read the question properly. When you read the question, you will get the idea. So again, either you can take the highest data in body 1, or you can take the description of the data. Okay, for example, if I'm talking about paragraph 1, then you can describe what is there in the figure and how much percentage they are holding. On the same time, in paragraph 2, you can compare the data. So in paragraph 1, you can take describing of the data, and in paragraph 2, you can take the comparison of the data. In this way, you will be providing the description or the detailings of the data with numerical form. Also, in paragraph 2, you will be providing the comparison as well. Make sure that your answer contains 1 to 2 para only. Don't elaborate it a much, okay? But you also need to make sure that your answer remains equal. Okay, it's not like that in first para you are mentioning very small amount of information, and in 2 you have written such a long paragraph like a passage. Don't do that. Make sure it contains equal amount of data and precise data. Got it? Okay. Now, so let's have a 2-minute summary of the session. What all sorts of things that I have told you? I have told you about pie chart, right? The very first thing is read the question carefully. Okay. Second, got it? Okay, got it? So what all sorts of things I have mentioned? So read the question and instructions properly. Make sure you do it. Mark the diagram accordingly to your planning. So basically, when I say plan your answer, mark your diagram, check out the differences, check out the percentage, check out what is the unit of the what is the unit used with the numerical form, so that you be very precise and clear. Okay. Okay. Now, divide the paragraphs and plan your answer accordingly. Take care of the parameters and criteria of band score. You have everything in your hand. You have the criterias, you have the band score description. You just need to follow that. That's all. So, even if you are planning to appear in the exam in the very recent part, then make sure you follow the band descriptors properly. Okay, don't need to take a lot of stress on that. Be chill, everything will be done properly. If you just need to follow the instructions carefully, and that's all. Okay, now let's talk about the rules now. Now, you all can have a quick screenshot of this thing, okay, so that you remember, and instead of rolling Instagram reels, you can just have a look at the screenshot so that you get to know what all sorts of mistakes you don't have to commit in the time of examination and at the time of preparation. Got it? Now, so take care of your spellings, take care of the punctuation marks, no contraction, write precisely, study the diagram, revise your answer and evaluate your answer. One of the most important thing what I have seen in students, whatever mistakes I am taking it out, you are capable of marking it on your own. You just need to revise your answer. You actually need to revise your answer in any of the section. Make sure you take out at least 5 minutes at the end of the test so that you can revise your responses. And trust me, the day you started revising your responses is the day you will start evaluating yourself, and you will get to know what all silly mistakes you don't have to commit. Got it? Got it. Okay, so here is an answer. I hope you have taken the screenshot. Just take it if you haven't, and rest the session will be there. Okay, so this is all about the pie chart. I hope it helped you guys. Okay, so thank you so much everyone for watching this wonderful session. I know that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope it's going to help you also. That keep on practicing. Make sure you don't take stress of the question, it's stress of the examination. It's okay, everything will be done. Just practice and make sure you take care of the simplest and slightest things, because majority of the things are not there, but what is going to make the difference is the slightest thing. Okay, so that's all. Keep on practicing. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Okay, then bye bye, take care.